Okay, this is part 2 of our video, and we are on part C. What is the probability of fewer than 37 successes? So we want the probability that X is fewer than, I've already forgotten, 37 successes. So the first thing that we need to think about is we are trying to find, and we know, I believe that the mean was 30, so 37 would be somewhere over in here. So we want fewer than. So this is our right boundary. On the right side, we don't have a left boundary because it would continue forever. So first of all, 37, that less than 37, so your greatest value would be 36 because we don't want to include 37. Now here's the rule. If your left boundary goes on forever, then you don't have to do the interval for the left and for the right. But for your right boundary, it's going to stop at 36. But remember, for right boundaries, we're going to add 0.5 to it. For left boundaries, we would subtract 0.5. But we don't have a left boundary here. So we're going to do 36 plus 0.5, and we would get 36.5. And the only reason we're doing this is because we're approximating the binomial distribution by using the standard distribution. And when we do that, we have to do the correction factor on it. So what we're going to do is, when we go into Excel, 36.5 is going to be X. Now, when we put our formula in, remember our mean, we talked about it in the first video, is 30, and our standard deviation is 3.464. So before we go into Excel, we know that X, and we're not going to have to do any adding or subtracting once we get our answer in the table. That's the good thing, because we actually want this area, and that's what the what Excel is going to give us. So we know X is 36.5, and we know that the mean is 30, and we know the standard deviation is 3.464, and we're going to put true when we go in there because we want it to be cumulative, meaning we want all of the area up to the 36.5. So let's go into Excel and put equals norm dot dist, double click. X is, we said 36.5, I believe. The mean, comma, the mean is 30, comma, the standard deviation is 3.464, comma, and then you're going to double click on true, and then you're going to close the parenthesis and press enter. So we get 0.9697. So the probability that X is less than 37 would be 0.9697. Okay, let's go on to D, the probability of more than 26 successes. So here, the probability that X is less than 37 was 0.9697. So we're moving on to part D. So in part D, we want to know the probability that x is greater than 26. So let's see what that would look like. So here is our mean, and our mean is 30, and 26 would be somewhere over here. So here we want to know greater than 26, so we would want to shade to the right. So our 26 is our left boundary. Our right boundary is to infinity. So remember, first of all, greater than 26 would actually mean we would want 27 because we don't want to include 26. Now, since it's our left boundary, we have to, remember, if it's your left boundary, you have to subtract 0.5. So 26.5 is what we're going to look up for our probability. Okay, so we know that our mean, we have all that above, the 30 and the 3.464, but x is going to be 26.5. When we put it in the table, the mean is still 30, the standard deviation is 3.464, and we're going to put true for cumulative. But remember, when you put the cumulative in, it's going to give you this side. So what are you going to have to do to find the greater than side? When you're trying to find the greater than side, you have to do 1 minus what they give you in the table. So let's go ahead and do our table. Equals norm.dist, and then x was 26.5, and the mean is 30, the standard deviation, 3.464, and then we're going to put true, and then we're going to close the parenthesis. So the area is 0.1561, I believe. So this side, is 0.1561. So we will have to take 1 and subtract 0.1561. And I don't think I have that written down. So, and I don't have my calculator, so I'm just going to use Excel and say 1 minus this. And that would be 0.8438. 0.8438. So the probability that x is greater than 26 is 0.8438. Now I want to emphasize that in this particular problem, you're not having to get the z-score and look the z-score up on the table, but there will be problems where you do practice using the table, and that's really important to be able to do that as well. But hopefully you can get through this problem. If you have any questions about it, just message me.